be introducing Robert again on stage for the Analytics Roundtable. Welcome back, Robert.
All right. Thank you, Christiane. Our intro music always comes with a purpose. The interpret of that music is Survivor. I see myself as a survivor, having now almost 30 years background. I started at IBM. We were typing text messages to each other in green letters on black screen, and I see what technology evolved meanwhile. So I'm really impressed how far we got. And the good message is also that you are going to be survivors soon, because the coming roundtable is the last session before we go to the apéro break and to the dinner. So for many customers, the smart enterprise is no longer about digital transformation. That's past years. It's more about overall driving overall performance with meaningful insights. That was a bit the case before. Customers really ask more for information. They want to compare data. They want to have corporate data accessible everywhere. We have the SAP data. Since many years accessible for analytical processes and for analytical purpose. But we also have end customers. They want to understand what's in their products, what is the origin of the ingredients in their products, etc. So they would like to get more information, and to collect also all those information. SAP is no longer sufficient. Also, what's coming from production, what's coming from our facilities, what the impact of a changing process in certain ways on the financial side is, and combining all this information into predictive cases, into AI cases, is really requiring modern and robust data management platform that is going beyond the border of a single provider. A smart factory does not only mean having access to corporate data, it also needs flexibility to enhance with other data sources, group-wide data, consistency. It's also the diverse data sources. As I said at the beginning, we have IoT data coming from machines that may influence process changes. We have environmental data, energy consumption, etc., that we also would like to bring into our analytical model. It covers from production to end customers all the elements. And for that, smart factory, in our opinion, is bringing all those platforms together. We heard about the SAP Business Data Cloud already. The components that has been used at Interroll all coming are under the umbrella of BDC. But SAP is opening extremely towards partner companies. We have, since the launch of BDC last year already, Databricks as a partner is already available as SAP Databricks or with a connector to Databricks. We are expecting Snowflake connector already in H1. We also see the Google Cloud connector coming in H1 and Fabric potentially coming in H2. So SAP is opening significantly towards the other partner companies. And that's also why we as SPs are expanding our capabilities and capacity. And that's also why we have for the upcoming roundtable representatives from all those elements on stage. So I would like to welcome our 4 guests for the upcoming roundtable. Everybody has a seat. So make a short introduction. Here,
without the tie.
Christian Hesse is coming from Google. He's the head of sales specialist for data and analytics and AI for EMEA. We have Alberto Gallo on the very right-hand side. He is the head of product and strategy roadmap for planning, data and analytics. Then we have Philipp Auer from
Servus.
Databricks. He is account manager, enterprise account manager at Databricks, working with us already on a couple of cases. And last but not least, we have Andreas Wagner here. He's a consultant at SPears. He has built up the data science community and practice at Hilti for the last 10 years and is now since a half year with us at SPears. So we have heard it before. We had already a customer that is moving towards this smart enterprise, mainly for operational excellence. In my opinion, the financial potential, both on top line and bottom line, with those platforms is immense. Andreas, you were at the customer meeting there where we talked about the smart factory. Can you give us some insights what the customer really would like to achieve?
You said it already. It's operational excellence.
Operational excellence,
So
yes.
it's the corporation has like an SAP stack, and they have multiple plants, manufacturing units, and they want to drive efficiency across the plants within one plant, define value streams, and for this one they need to connect SAP data and shop floor data, and MES systems and also other data sources. So when you look at the customer, they have a pretty diverse, heterogeneous system landscape, little islands, and they want to connect them, and that's why they talk to us. Mm-hmm. The biggest island, let's say, is the SAP thing, and now it's about building these bridges and creating value streams.
Mm-hmm. And how did we suggest them to achieve their goals?
First, we want to listen, right? So we want to make sure that we talk to the right business people, really understand their problems, and from there derive an architecture. So in this case, we do propose a hybrid architecture. So stay on the SAP stack for the SAP data, implement there the latest and best what you can do, follow the path, build an SAN BDC, and then use zero copy data share and connect most likely to Databricks environment, native Databricks, which then complements an SAP Databricks in a BDC. And in the native Databricks, they are able to integrate the shop floor data, IoT data, and also other systems. And when they aggregate these raw data, they can move it back to the BDC, combine it with finance data, and really report on these value streams they want to achieve.
No, that's interesting. And I also have to say, I mean, the customer is producing millions of goods every day, and they say that they are looking at the third digit behind the comma in Swiss Rappen.
Yeah.
So it's really, that's the type of operational excellence that they are looking at. Yeah.
Yeah, highest effectiveness, efficiency. In the end, it's a Swiss company, so they need to be more effective, better than anybody else. Otherwise, they're not on the market anymore.
Especially in a productive environment, production environment in Switzerland. Yeah. I mean, moving a bit to Alberto, you are at the center of the, I would say, development of BDC. I said it already, it feels like 5 years. We have it in place. It's only 1 year. Why is SAP so much investing into data and expanding to data science partners?
Thanks. That's a great question. And let me take it a little bit more broadly from the context of one of these strategic imperatives which every company, regardless of the industry and sector, is facing. If we could go to the next slide. That is, of course, AI. So while we're obviously deeply convinced about the massive potential that AI can bring, we also see that most of our customers are still stuck in the pilot phase. And what we see is that to get past that, companies need to make decisive shifts to address a number of challenges, part of which you see on the left-hand side of the page here. So starting from the bottom, siloed legacy application systems, unreliable and scattered data silos with a ton of manual integration and reconciliation required, and bolt-on AI that does not scale across the enterprise. If we move to the left-hand side of the slide, here's what we at SAP are trying to do in very, very simple terms. This is not about BDC, this is our corporate strategy and our identity. With 80% of global commerce flowing through SAP systems and the widest portfolio of business applications out there, we believe that we are in a unique position to deliver differentiated value across the applications, data, and AI layer. What is this about concretely? Starting from applications, they are not siloed tools, but they integrate every enterprise process end to end, covering seamlessly all functions from HR, customer experience, supply chain, and finance. Every action taken in these applications generates trusted data at the source, which seamlessly flows into one unified data layer, which is the Business Data Cloud. Business Data Cloud is where business analysts, machine learning engineers, and agentic AI has access to that harmonized data regardless of the source, regardless whether it's coming from SAP sources or non-SAP sources at a fraction of the cost. If you have those two enablers in place, then AI seamlessly goes from separate and scattered automation across functions to an interconnected system of agents that can operate a lot more seamlessly across enterprise processes. Now, let's dive a little bit deeper into the data layer with Business Data Cloud. And if we can go to the next slide. So, Business Data Cloud, quoting Ali Ghodzi from Databricks last year in New York when we had the launch event, is where the world's most comprehensive and business-critical business data is addressed and operated in a converged and comprehensive data and analytics solution covering all the elements of the stack, from data warehousing, machine learning, as well as analytics and many others. Few brief things to call out about BDC and what we feel makes it differentiating. Number one, the access to enterprise-wide SAP-managed data products with business context, semantics, and policy and governance already built in, drastically reducing any data integration and reconciliation efforts. Number two, integration of non-SAP data into the picture and access to best-in-class data engineering and machine learning capabilities with SAP Databricks, of course. Number three, strong interoperability with SAP Business Warehouse Cloud. With BDC, we really want to make sure that our heritage BW customers can seamlessly transition to this modern data stack with a path that includes low TCO and additional value if they decide to do so, as opposed to going to third-party platforms. And number four, obviously, the open ecosystem approach with the data sharing partnership and a modern zero-copy approach to Microsoft, Databricks, Snowflake, and Google, at least for now. These are the elements I wanted to call out. Many of this has been already touched upon. So that's ultimately what BDC is about and why SAP is investing into it.
And it's opening towards a partner ecosystem, which I believe is a big game changer, also looking into the future. Now, Philipp, we have Databricks as a partner now, 1 year in BDC collaborating with SAP. How did that change your day-to-day work? In what ways do you have different customer conversations meanwhile?
Yeah, so first of all, I would say we're really excited about the partnership, as Databricks is really natively integrated into SAP. So this is very huge, and also was one of the key drivers, among other things, that we duplicated in Switzerland and grew more than 60% worldwide. But I think all organizations on the planet want to become a data company. They want to take advantage of the data they have, and actually they want to do analytics, and nowadays they want to do AI. But it's very hard for them because the data is not ready. So at the moment, what we're seeing is the data is inside of SAP mostly from a business perspective, and sits in those enterprise resource planning platforms, and is marrying now with one of the best data platform, which is called Databricks. So Databricks is very good is one aspect of the platform in data warehousing, and on the other aspect of it, very good when it comes to AI and machine learning. So the Databricks Lakehouse architecture now lets you actually blend the structured data that you have inside your systems, where you were historically doing some BI workloads, with the unstructured data that you actually have in your company. and do some AI and machine learning or some agents. So the crux of it is that SAP still has the business data, which is important with different semantics, and historically was very siloed. And once you wanted to combine it with different sources, you ended up having it replicated or in a different system. So now actually with the partnership, a data scientist can go ahead, use the data that you have in your SAP without replication and build an agent on top of that that learns from your data. And if we look at AI in the industry, AI is really good in answering generic questions about history, about public available data, but where the agents are suffering is answering questions that are based on the domain-specific know-how, on the proprietary data that you have in SAP. And with this partnership, we are enabling that and solving the issue.
Yeah, and I also can say, I mean, I see two types of customers. Those that do have a problem, want to do data engineering and data science and are looking for solutions, but you also see quite many customers that do have both platforms already in place and are looking for the integration, how they can best move data across the two platforms. Christian, Google is already a SAP partner for many years in many areas. How do you perceive the changes over the last year?
Yeah, yeah, you're right. So we are a partner not only on the technology side, but we are also a big SAP customer. So many of our backend systems are running on SAP. Then we are also a service infrastructure provider for SAP. So many of the RISE services are running on GCP, and as well a technology partner for many years. Of course, as we heard, BDC zero copy connector will be available around March. So basically similar functionality technology we heard. And it really depends a little bit on the customer. So we would like to provide choice. So if you're a BDC customer, of course, that's the preferred solution. If you're not on BDC, it does not mean you cannot use any other Google Analytics services. So we have a framework called Cortex, which is already used by many customers. BDC is new. This connector was not available yet, and those customers are using these frameworks, building pipelines. It's a little bit more effort, but bringing out the data. And I think it's important, or the customers who are started that journey, important for them was to augment their existing SAP data with data from other services. So either their legacy systems, shop floor systems, or as well external data that might be from digital platforms, etc. And I think that's crucial when it comes to AI, because we heard from Professor Sludi, and the outcome is only as good as the data which has put in for training. Yeah, and as more data you have, and that probably not only from one system, but from couple other systems, or even from external data, your model is getting better and better. And I think that will be benefits, and as well then at the end your ROI will be much greener than without.
Yeah, and, I can also say we predicted already the partnership a couple of years ago, because SBS is a Google partner for many years meanwhile, and we are also doing analytics on the platform, and happy that the connector comes hopefully then in Q1. I wanted to let Alberto a bit on thin ice, because I also would like to get a bit of insights on the future. So we had a debate on that. 1 year BDC is behind us, but looking into the future, what can you say? What's coming, or in what direction are you thinking? That's also interesting to hear.
So this question makes me think about a review that we had with Christian Klein, our CEO, a couple of weeks back, which started very unusually with 5 minutes of him thanking us for all the amazing work done, all the great things delivered in 2025, as well as the great traction that BDC is seeing in the market. But guess what? The remaining 45 minutes were all about a very long list of things that must happen in 2026, no matter what. And that's exactly what we're driving towards. So we like to see 2026 and the gap and the amount of new things you will see at a similar magnitude to what has already been delivered in 2025. Let me call up a few. So one big priority is expanding and modernizing our end-to-end data and analytics stack. What do I mean by that? We are pushing very hard to expand the scope of data and analytics capabilities that are part of Data Cloud beyond the current perimeter. I'm dying to tell you more, but I can't, unfortunately. However, I think safe to say that you can expect 2 or 3 very major announcements within the next 3 to 6 months in that regard. But then obviously this is not just about expanding from what we have already, but it also is about further delivering best-in-class capabilities to the current solutions that are part of BDC. For Business Warehouse, we are investing very heavily to even further strengthen the interoperability with the other components. And for SAC, there's also heavy investments to bring those analytics capabilities to the kind of best-in-class in the market level. Couple of other areas, just to mention them. Ecosystem is obviously a big one. We've promised a number of zero-copy connectors to the market. We will deliver them between H1 and I think in the case of Microsoft, H2, with maybe some potential ones not yet announced. Let's see. And then last but not least, on the artificial intelligence side, SAP has a huge cross-company initiative to really double down on AI across across the board. And with BDC, this also means introducing a very large number of AI-infused and agentic capabilities as part of the data analytics stack. Think about agents to produce data products seamlessly or to draw insights from your analytics dashboards. There's a lot more, and happy to take further questions, but let me not say more for now.
No, it's interesting. I believe for everybody to at least get a bit of an outlook what's coming in the future. I'm already looking forward for May when Sapphire happens. Usually one of the other announcements comes by then. So let's stay tuned on what's coming. But we heard already a practical use case with Interroll, how to use such a platform. Looking a bit now to Christian and Philipp, what other use cases do you see in the market that are really practical customer value?
Yeah, maybe before I segue into that question, let me give a bit of context. If your company is older than 10 years or is part of many different industries, I think the first question that comes up if you talk about GenAI use cases or agent is data security and compliance. So your agent will have access to HR data, to Workday, to many SaaS applications. And what we're seeing as well is that agents are actually creating a database in the backend, which is then adding another layer of complexity and governance issues. So at Databricks first, we always say, get your head around your governance and create a good catalog, which is called Unity Catalog at Databricks, where you have access control of your data, lineage, and quality monitoring. And then also have an agent database, which is called Lakebase in our platform, that is actually completely managed as part of the Lakehouse architecture. So, but maybe back to your question on use cases. I think very simple. What we're seeing is the marketing industry is really disrupted, and companies are paying attention to use cases that automate repetitive tasks that are really taking a lot of time and create a lot of business value if they could be done faster. So take 7-Eleven, for example, a customer of ours. They spend a lot of time and effort in marketing activities. They needed to generate documents. They needed to reach out to different personas, group them, and all of that took them weeks. With an agent they built on our platform, they actually could, not everything, but could auto-generate some content, group them automatically, and then reach out to the right personas at the right time. So in short, I think having a good use case that reduces the time for repetitive tasks by bearing in mind the data privacy and compliance issues and governance issues is key for low-hanging fruits.
I believe all CFOs will like that. That means cost saving, obviously, in regards of efficiency. Maybe Christian, from your side?
Yeah, I don't know where you are from on your AI journey, but I think what we've seen the last 1 to 2 years was, the main output were chatbots in some kind, but what we are seeing is that the controllers are now coming to the party, and they're asking for hard ROIs, and it's difficult with chatbots to provide this positive ROI. If you have been able to do so, you could be happy, but we see many customers who are struggling with that. And what we are seeing, and that might seems to be a little bit boring, but where we basically see hard outcomes are machine learning models. Yeah, it's a little bit old school, but when I really look into our large customers, Deutsche Bank, all the banking, many telco customers, etc. So the heavy workloads they are using AI at the moment are machine learning workloads. And now we are on the forge now to bring in agents, to bring in AI to the colleagues, to the employees, etc., etc. But we are now at the forefront. So this is starting now.
All right, Andreas, I would like to move a little bit away from the technical, more to the people side. You have built up data science practice at Hilti over the last 10 years. What is important for customers that want to start the data science practice journey?
Business first. So it's all about business. So it's never about pushing a technology, but partner up with the ones who actually really get it. So it's like there's always some people who really own the process, and they are the ones to talk to and make sure that you follow them and you work with them, you partner up with them. Second advice I would give is you own it. So architecture isn't built on PowerPoint. It's you in the system. Like, I don't know. Or when you're not in the system, then you are somebody who you trust 100% and he is in the system. And so it's really you own it and you drive it, you are in the details. And then what I've always found super helpful, like when you think big and you have a strategic project portfolio. Yes, you then start small and you can fail fast, it's all good, but make sure that you really know what you want to do in half a year, in 1 year, in 2 years, what the company is really up to in the future. Yeah, I think so. Business first, you own it, and strategic project portfolio.
Yeah, and I think that resonates also with me. I see many customer discussions coming much more from the business side. Meanwhile, than we had it like 2 years ago, where it was more technology driven, and now really the business units would like to get benefits from the data and from the platform, and they are more sitting on the table. And Alberto, beyond technology, from an SAP perspective, what can customers make themselves successful?
It's another very good question. I mean, let me take it from the perspective of our very own journey, from the conception to the launch and the now expansion of BDC. A data and AI transformation, by definition, is something that is extremely hard. There's many factors that come into play, but to just name 3, the most important one is the strong and shared belief in the existential nature of the task at hand and of the importance of what's being done. I mean, everything must start with a rather clear and opinionated view on where the world is going and the role that we want to play. That's what I tried to also summarize at the beginning when we spoke about the data, AI, and apps flywheel. And then, quite simply, everybody at all levels needs to be constantly told and reminded why this is the case, why this is so important. Because that's the only way that a very large company can pull off something extremely complicated in a very short time, such as delivering a data and AI transformation or launching something like BDC. The second topic is, I think, execution and detail focus up to the very top. And I mean, to exemplify this, I still remember February 2024, it was a Sunday, I was on a train back from Austria, and I get an email from our COO proposing the cadence that was required to make BDC happen, to launch BDC. And he said, daily stand up with the presidents of all business unit, 2 CEO steerings every single week until we make the thing happen. That was February 2024. So imagine the pleasure of having to prepare for 1 year, actually it lasted for 2 years, 2 steerings with your CEO, CFO, and everybody every single week, going into a level of detail that I would have never thought an executive to be able to go into. Ultimately, that's what it takes. Was it painful? Super. But that's, I mean, really, if you need to do something very, very difficult, it's like that. Digital data and AI transformations just don't happen like that with some PowerPoint slides. It needs a lot of effort from the top and continued engagement from the top. And last but not least, allies. I mean, as in life, we wouldn't have been able to do anything around BDC. And here it's a pleasure to have colleagues from Databricks and Google, which are arguably some of the closest technology partners that we have in the BDC stack. So clearly none of this would have been possible without them. And that's why I'm also super happy to be here with you.
And I think it also gives the speed of innovation and the speed of improvements, having multiple partners working at the same goal and the same target. How does Google bring process and people together?
Yeah, first of all, I think this question implies a little bit how can AI be successful for the company? Yeah, and I think the most important foundation is the data. I mean, you first have to get your data right, yeah, or you have to somehow analyze your data landscape, and from there you can decide what AI capabilities are possible. So that's the first point. And then second point, I would say, when it really comes to the people, it depends a little bit on your company culture. So when you have a culture where you can introduce services and the colleagues are open to use them, I mean, I would differentiate between different people in the company. So when it comes really to the workers who are involved in processes, etc., I would really think about introducing conversational analytics. So that's really a low barrier to enter AI services. It's already available. It's there. It's nothing in the future what has to be built. Secondly, everything which is working with data with no code. Everything where you can ask question against the data, prompt something against the data. These services are available and capable to do so. So that's the first group. The second group, I would say, is some of the business owners. I talked about machine learning, low-hanging fruits, a lot of machine learning models out of the box available when it comes to customer segmentation, forecasting models, time series, etc., etc. And then, of course, as I said, so the next step will be then agents. But agents, very important. I have to have a very good and clean landscape. And the third group, I would say, is then really the IT engineering as well, having a lot of agents already out of the box, data science agents, data engineering agent, which is helping to be faster, to do probably things they haven't done before. So these are all capabilities which are already there, so you can start right away tomorrow, and everything when it comes to agents and so on will come this year, but it will take a little bit more time, especially as you have to get your data right.
Yeah, thanks. And I also can add to that. I mean, we have a customer that does not only talk to a system through a bot. He also talks to a wide range of unstructured data, to PDFs and other documents. And I think the power of such a platform is that you also can integrate unstructured data into it, lead the end user to the root document where the information is coming from. And I believe that service management organization that we have implemented that is gaining a lot of efficiency because they don't have to search in folders or other stuff. They really can ask where did we do or where did we had that failure, and they get some original information and the documents that the information is coming from. I mean, we heard it already from Andreas, Philipp. Think big, start small. That was one of the suggestions. And how do you see customers usually get Databricks projects started or initiated?
Yeah, so there is a short and a long answer. The short answer is from my personal experience. So me as an account executive that is not very technical and can barely code is even capable with Databricks 3 and the investment that we took in that program to set up a Databricks workspace, to have sample data, to actually govern your tables in a catalog and then a schema. And also I built some of the AI BI dashboards without even being capable of writing code or just having a few fundamental skills there. So that's how I actually started, and everybody of you can do it. But once it's about a company and getting started with Databricks, I think there are 3 different main topics you need to look at. One is processes, then people, and use cases. Because if we look at the board of many companies, they are saying the AI revolution is here. We need to go, go, go. Why are we not putting them into production? Where's the return on investment? And then the platform team is saying, yeah, we need more time, money, and resources. And on the other hand, there's actually a new data legislation coming, which is delaying everything on top. So there's a discrepancy between the board and the actual teams working. But we've seen some customers that overcome that. And now I want to maybe mention 3 of those topics, how you can actually elevate that. So the first is change process management. In organizations, many people want to be responsible for data or want to lead on that and be responsible. And our recommendation always to leaders is that you point one person or one department that is really capable and making decisions to avoid further delays. And the second piece is on use case prioritization, so low-hanging fruits. Really prioritize them on the time to implementation, but also the business value that you expect, and rather start with them than with a big migration that could overwhelm your whole team and department. And the third topic is, at last but not least, that you need to continuously and rather sooner than later upskill and educate your workforce, or invest in some expertise from one of the partners that can really set up your platform from scratch and invest in that. And I think I heard that SPears is one of the partners that can also do that. But yeah,
Thanks for that one.
that's it.
No, I'm at the end of my question. We have 5 minutes left. I know you guys will be around for the apéro downstairs afterwards. So if you have more questions, you obviously can ask the colleagues directly. But is there any question that is coming directly?